afternoon, gentlemen. On behalf of TCS International and Safetica Technologies, I warmly welcome you this afternoon. TCS International locally have grown from strength to strength over the years. Our success was built upon the world-class products on offer, valuable staff, technical capabilities, dedication, commitment, trusted customer base, and of course, media. It's you who takes us to the community. As we at DCS crosses yet another milestone and one more step towards a successful business partnership, thank you very much for choosing to spend your valuable time with us today. Without further ado, let's get started with the day's proceedings. And to begin with, may I please invite the Managing Director of DCS International, Mr. Naban Akhil, on stage to give you a brief overview of the company. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good evening everybody, and very sorry for the short introduction. And first of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Pavel Factory, the Chief Technological Officer of Safetica. I hope that I have addressed you correctly. Sorry for this. And Mr. Marwan Chaimani, Business Development Manager of Safetica, and Shihan Anand, the Director at DCS International, and Ajmir Hanifa, Business Development Manager of DCS. And also my very valued staff have been doing a wonderful job throughout, and also my distinguished guests from electronic and press media. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to give very brief, just 5 minutes introduction about what DCS is all about, and just to get an idea. DCS is all about, what we are doing is, we are a value-added distributor for information security products and services. This is our portfolio, the boundary that we work on. And we begin in 2002 with the intention of protecting your digital world. And under this team, we have been developing our product lines, and we have been getting a few product lines into the basket. And current brands we are doing is ESET. Currently we hold around 30% market share in corporate segment. Plus a new product line which recently introduced into the market, which you could do for the network environment, where you can control things through a mobile phone, and this is a new product line. And the Safetica is a product that we launching today. And these are few of our clienteles. We have a huge clientele, but we have selected very few clientele, especially the Cargill Food City, Haley's, Singer, Avance, Exchange Insurance. These all are actually currently using most of our product lines. And this is only part of our custom client wins we are having today. And it's growing day by day with our expansion. Our growth, currently we are catering into the antivirus market, the corporate market. We are holding a close to 30% market share, which we have done within. It's a remarkable achievement we have made within a very short time period, probably within 3 years. It's a remarkable achievement we have done. And overall, the company is growing at 55% annually. Our goal is to become one of the leading value-added distributor in the Asia Pac region. What I really meant in this is, actually we are focusing not only Sri Lanka, in nearby future that we might be, we have a plan of expanding our business profile to India and some subcontinents. We are currently working on it. And also dominate information security industry by offering innovative and service level. And finally, I would like to give you, this is actually a part of small group. I would like to give you a very brief introduction of what this group is all about. And we have two segments. One is ICT sector, and other one is baby and mother care segment. And these two industries within this small group, and we are Digital House is the first company that within the group we are started in 1993. Currently we are holding the instant distributorship. We are almost distributing this product line for over 10 years. I hope that instant is well known to all of you all, and this is one of the major memory and flash product lines, currently the world #1 memory product line. And DCS International is where we stand today, ESET, Safetica and Plus. And eGuardian Lanka is a joint venture company between DCS International and Singapore eGuardian, which is Asia Pac biggest information security provider. And currently we hold A10, HP, the all security product line, we are the sole distributor, and Fortinet again is a firewall component product line. This is recently started year 2012, Digital Engineering Private Limited, which we currently move, the company is more into focusing on LED lighting systems and also the CCTV cameras. Currently we hold Samsung CCTV camera distributorship. We have just actually concluded the distributorship and will be focusing more on the Samsung CCTV cameras in Sri Lanka. And BenQ is more into LED lighting. We actually, BenQ is a big product line, but we are representing for BenQ LED lighting system in Sri Lanka. We started in 2012. And Finisant Toys International is fully diversified from the IT, and currently it started in year 2002, and we are currently holding world top brands, namely the Palin is Sri Lanka's actually #1 baby care product, and also the Lego. We are a sole distributor in Sri Lanka. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and Barbie, and Kidjo is our own brand. And this is all about just to give you an overall idea and the background of what our company is and what our group is into. And I hope that you will have got, hope that you have got some idea of what our group is. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, I think I have the right to do so because I'm also a proud member of this, I must say, family of companies. So I would just try to emphasize the fact that as a distributor, we work with pretty much all the large systems integrators and IT companies in the market. So they are actually the ones who take us to the market. But moving on to our next segment. I'll start with a quote that I found which is quite interesting. Famous literary and political rebel once said, "If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees." The question is, have you revealed your secrets, or do you know whether somebody has? It just could be too late when you find out. Mr. Pavel Khavkin, the Chief Technology Officer of Safetica Technologies, the stage is now over to you, sir, to disclose the revealed secrets and the world security statistics.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Pavel Kravky. I'm from Czech Republic, from Safetica. My responsibility is the development of Safetica products. So my responsibility is for developing of this unique technological solution. And in these short few minutes, I would like you to inform or present some of the data breaches that happened over the last year. Actually, the big ones that had the most impact on perceiving the data breaches, not as something that is unusual, but something that is actually a part of the business today. And Safetica is aimed at protecting businesses and protecting their value against such data breaches. So the basic point of what Safetica is focusing on is the internal threats. Ponemon Institute and KPMG several years later find out that most of the threats in IT come from the inside of the company. Actually, only 20% of the IT threats come from the outside. And if you look at today's IT budgets, most of the budgets go just only to cover the external threats, like for firewalls, antiviruses. So there is a great and big need, and it's covered by these facts, for securing the internal IT infrastructure of those companies. So this is what actually Safetica does. Companies like ESET and antivirus companies cover the outside, and Safetica covers the threats that are on the inside. There are some statistics about data breaches that were conducted by several different companies. Most of the incidents that are happening today, actually the 80% of data breaches are coming from inside. The rest of the 20% of data breaches are from external attacks. Usually those are very high profile attacks, like data breaches from Sony, like you heard about those cases last year. But most of the cases where data leak happened, it comes from the inside. Actually, the 80% speaks for itself. What is the other interesting information is about how employees today perceive the ownership of data. Actually, the 52% of the employees admitted that they would take some data when they are leaving the company. The most common case here is a salesman which takes his contacts and information about contracts or prices. That's the most usual thing that happens. The thing that is important is how many companies actually experienced data leakages. The 58%, this figure, is important. You see that every second company actually had experienced a data breach. What is more important is that when you think about a company, which you ask in a survey about if they had a data breach, most of them will not tell you about it. We suppose that almost every company had a data breach, but the problem is that most of the companies, they do not actually know that some data breaches are happening to them. They have no tools or measures how to find out. So only after some time they find out that those data of theirs came to the customer and they were misused against them. All those data breaches are not always caused by employees. It's about half of them, but the second half could be caused also by the different means. Also, when we are talking about employees making these data breaches and taking the data out, it's not that the employee is always intentionally taking data out. Actually, it's about 96% of the data leaks are unintentional. That means that the employees simply do not know that some action that they are doing or they are carrying the data out could be dangerous. And by mistake, by bad luck, the data often comes to the wrong hands. And the last figures about the businesses, about the percentage of them actually covering those risks. When you see that 80% of the threats of the risks that the company have are coming from these internal infrastructures, and when you see that only about 23% are covering those actions, it's kind of crazy, because antivirus is now a common part of every company, and I expect that in a few years it will be also DLP and such solutions that will be a essential part of IT software toolbox in all those companies. So what Safetica is aiming at is to help also to make the awareness about those data breaches happening. And from the last survey created, or a research which I heard about an e-conference this year, actually every data breach of every company results in a financial loss. It's nothing uncommon, it happens all the time, but we need really to target those attacks. I have about three different stories from data breaches. Those are the ones that actually were published, and they had good coverage, and also they describe how those data leaks happens. Usually when you have data leak, you only know about the leakage, but you do not know how the leakage happens. So I choose the stories in which I could tell you that those could be protected by a software solution like Safetica is for DLP. T-Mobile in United Kingdom a few years back had experienced data breach on one of their branches, where the employees with access to the customer databases actually took those data and sold them to competition brokers. T-Mobile to that time didn't have any measures of how to protect the data breach. So if you see those numbers about millions of pounds estimated losses and loss of confidence, data breach always has such impacts. So those things are not unusual, and happened usually only on the lower level of the employee base, but also on the higher level of the employee base. Such as case of technology officer of IBM, actually a guy that was very trusted in the company. He worked there for several years, and he was considered as a loyal person, as a great colleague of IBM staff. But what happened when IBM had talked about fusion with Sun? He took the very essential documents about this acquisition and sold it to companies like Newcastle Funds for millions of dollars. This, of course, resulted in arresting Mr. Robert Moffat and loss of confidence to IBM and their execution. So it does not only happen on a local branch with some local employees, but also in those higher places. So this scarecrow in the closet is always presented here. So it's very important not only focus on the employees on the lower layers, but also on the whole company as a whole. Maybe the biggest data breach in the meaning of financial loss was the loss of Country Financial. Now it's part of Bank of America. René Rebolo, which was a financial analyst, had took for several months. He actually, every week he came to his job, he took a hard drive and copied thousands and thousands of files. This was ongoing for several months. Again, such a large institution didn't have any measures at all, any software like a DLP. So it was very easy for him, without any attention from the IT staff, to do such things and take out the data. And the result of the financial loss, it's $600 million. It's unimaginable, and you can see what the data breach can do. And the cost of a solution covering this case, such as Safetica, which would easily prevent Mr. Rebel from copying the data, which would be sensitive only for data, is uncomparable. So, as you see, the risk and the result of a data breach can be very harming even for such a big company. And maybe the case with the most media coverage you probably know about was the WikiLeaks, where Mr. Bradley Manning was a soldier in the American army. He had access to these diplomatic dispatches, and he basically used a rewritable CD to take those data out. And again, American army. Even when they had a solution for device control, they weren't able to do something that Safetica does, like selecting the specific documents and preventing them, for example, not only from copying to devices, but also from, for example, burning it on CD. So he took this CD, he labeled it Lady Gaga, and without any attention of the staff, he could do this all the time for several weeks. So this was kind of a milestone in perceiving data breaches, not as something that is happening sometimes, but that is something that is actually part of our culture. As you see, it's kind of a common that such data breaches happen. Okay, that was for the part of data breaches. Safetica is mainly focused on protection of the data. But the thing that Safetica is unique in is the connection with monitoring of the activities of the user. We actually find out that most of the data breaches are happening before the employee wants to leave the company. Unmotivated employees and those that are leaving the company are the risk group for data theft. And as you saw the figure that 52% of the employees would steal data when leaving the company. It kind of connects all together. So we created a solution which not only prevents or protects from copying data out, but also before data breach actually happens, monitors and profiles trends in usage of data. So basically you can see how the users are accessing the data, and if there are some unusual operations like copying 20,000 files in one place and accessing data which the employee shouldn't, you can see before it actually happens. So the employee monitoring became a part of Safetica, and the other reasons like detection of rogue employees and identifying time slackers or maintaining a certain level of productivity became part of our solution. I have some funny examples about those low productivity statistics. We had a survey, and this actually pointed out some very interesting things happening in the companies, and it was around 1,000 companies, and these cases are just, you know, those funny ones. As you can see, usually the playing of the games or chatting or those social activities are the most common. I would point out the 106% of time spent with chatting. Actually, this woman has overtime even for the chatting. So those are kind of, you know, crazy statistics. And also this information about a webmaster of a company. He should work on his PC all the time, but he was only for 4%. And the case is, in those larger companies, it's very easy to go rogue because they often lack measures how to monitor the activities on the endpoint stations. So it's also important for the companies to cover that areas. Safetica covers, as I said, not only the data loss prevention issues, but as well the monitoring issue, and to create a consolidated solution which could help companies focus on the internal threats as a human factor. We also created mechanisms for controlling web access and application access. So this solution covers functionality of several different products. The good thing is that we did not acquire several companies and put all different softwares together. It was developed from under one roof, as I would say. It's very effective. And the way we created our DLP is very different to today's DLPs, like from the big guys like Symantec and McAfee. Our DLP is based on a sandboxing technology. Today's DLP, they have this limitation that they only protect the data from the applications like Microsoft Office or SharePoint or other, usually it's about several hundreds of applications. But you could easily use your own application or other than they support, and you can leak the data out. So Safetica created this sandboxing mode which can protect the data from leaking out of any type of application. Even if you have a malware that tries to take the data out of the system, Safetica takes this data and prevents the malware from taking the data out because it's on a lower layer. So all those different things that Safetica covers are focused on high security. That's our main concern. That means Safetica is very highly secure, not only covering all of the different channels, but also from those rogue employees that try to bypass the DLP. Usually when you are owner of a company and you buy a DLP software, the biggest concern is, okay, if I buy such a software, wouldn't my employees try to bypass it? And yes, they are trying it all the time. And we actually, compared to our competitors, we have something like Security Lab, in which we are testing different methods how to extract the data from the endpoints. So Safetica is very focused on this. We even can protect against users with administrative privileges, and that's our main one. The other part of our philosophy is to offer a solution which is easy to use. Today, DLPs are very heavyweight products. They usually take months, years to configure, to create a working policy. And actually, there is statistics that say that 52% of DLP projects fail. So this is mainly because of the complicated approach to solving the data breaches. Safetica takes a completely different approach, which is focusing on very transparent politics and having the user just focus on the important data and leave the rest of the settings to the system. So the Safetica software is consisted of 3 modules. And as I said, as we cover the data loss prevention, Safetica endpoint DLP, which is focusing on the data security, including encryption and device controls. We have a module called Safetica Arbiter, which is focused on the monitoring. and also a module which is called Safetica Endpoint Supervisor, focused on the web control and application control and print control. So this solution has a really great value for the company and doesn't only offer one way of how to get your money back and to investment, but gives you a very powerful solution to gain control over your endpoint stations in your IT infrastructure. So that is what Safetica covers, that is what we focus on, and I hope that in Sri Lanka companies will be more and more concerned about their internal threats, and I will be really eager to help them in covering all those risks that are present in our today IT environment. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. A word that we keep hearing, or rather a phrase that we keep hearing, is a single human failure can ruin your business. So we kind of got a brief idea on how do you protect your company, or do you know how do you protect your company? Well, we at least know that the solution isn't too far away. It's a product that prevents you from expensive data leaks and unnecessary product costs, protecting your business from that human errors and malicious acts. Well, I shall say no more because the experts are here for that. We have Mr. Marvin Shanwani, Business Development Manager of Safetica Technologies, to take you through the product.
Okay, so good evening everybody. Thank you so much for coming. It's a distinct pleasure to be here with you and for the occasion of introducing Safetica into the market of Sri Lanka. So my colleagues have already told you something about the unique features of our products. I would like perhaps maybe to tackle a little bit the business side of our organization, where we come from, how we do things, what's our philosophy, and what we are looking for in regards to expanding our business into Sri Lanka. So basically, Safetica is a Czech-based company. We started operating in 2004. Development process started, and first product or first generation of Safetica was released in 2008. We started acquiring customers and simultaneously worked on improving our technology and adding new features that led at the end to achieve Safetica being a full suite DLP solution. Currently we have around 50 employees located at two sites. We have a headquarters in Prague, which is the capital of Czech Republic, and our research and development center is in Brno, which is the second largest city in Czech Republic. Our worldwide coverage, actually we have managed in a really very short time due to introducing our slightly different concept of DLP into different markets. We managed to expand really rapidly to cover several locations, several regions, countries, starting perhaps from East, Japan, through Philippines, India, Russia, Middle East, and Africa. Recently we also acquired new partners in South America, and also we have managed to release a localized Latin version of our products. So yeah, our mission, our goal is to really try to cover the area of making business safer, protect all data which are your assets from leaking from inside company outside. As my colleague mentioned, so far that has been always a second priority or third priority, and I believe that over time it's becoming more and more essential. You can see a lot of cases like lately with the U.S. government official who carried documents from NSA and probably somewhere now communicating those in one of the Russian airports. So many statistics were told by my colleague Pavel Kratky. I also state here some of them, and we get those studies, those requirements on a daily basis from different companies, different research companies, addressing those concerns. And our answer to this is Safetica. Safetica, with the new 5th generation, is really a comprehensive solution. We not only cover certain parts of data leaks like many of our competitors do. Probably you have heard about a lot of DLP solutions which handle device control, filtering access to few websites, sorting out email communication. Other DLPs try to tackle instant messaging tools, and Safetica was designed to provide all those product or all this functionality combined in one product. That is basically what makes our software different from other companies, and mainly, of course, because a lot of DLP vendors those days, they state 200, maximum 300 applications that they are capable of handling, so they can prevent the data from leaking out. We are not concerned about number of applications because our concept of DLP is built on a lower system level, which allows us to control the flow of information outside the company regardless of the application used for this purpose. I would like to also say something about licensing. Just for your information, Safetica is a product which is licensed based on workstation. So licensing is per workstation. Its annual license can be purchased as well for 2 or 3 years with the possibility of renewal. The server component of our product is free, so you can have several management servers to connect. What is mainly licensed is the Safetica endpoint software. We do have a central management console which allows really rich functionality of administration, of reporting, of gathering data, of monitoring, and you basically can select or design your own type of report. You can design their frequency, so you don't end up with a system throwing you a lot of reports, and you just need to hire an entire team just to read what's going on within the company. Another very important thing is the intelligence behind the monitoring. So basically the software does behavioral analysis of every user. So we alert the administrator or the user if some unusual behavior occurs on a workstation. So if you get an employee that their number of emails, incoming and outgoing emails, suddenly drop, or you find that the last 2 weeks they've been constantly uploading files to some site. So this you can design the rule which you would like to alert you about any kind of similar behavior. Why took us some time to address the Sri Lankan market. To be honest about this, Safetica runs a pure channel business model. So we do try to work and cooperate with key partners across the globe. We had the chance to establish communication with these gentlemen from DCS approximately 6-7 months back, and we've been communicating our expectations and their vision for the development of security market in Sri Lanka. And I am very, very glad that we found a common ground and a reliable partner that can really communicate the benefits of Safetica to the companies in Sri Lanka, provide the proper education, analysis, implementation, pre-sale and after-sale support. As you see, we are also concerned about collecting recognition from different editors, organizations, and this is just a small snapshot of a few of our main references. Probably the closest one is Telecom Malaysia, which currently uses Safetica in their premises, and that was they were really not aware of the possibility of leaking data until a serious incident happened within Telecom Malaysia, and very sensitive documents have leaked out, which led them to take a very quick decision to prevent further data leakage, and with the cooperation of our Malaysian partner, we successfully managed to implement Safetica there. Maybe a small presentation of our.
I have always tried to be a good boss. When there were only 3 of us in the company, we spent a lot of time together. In spite of tough competition, we made it. And now I manage a company with many employees. But with business growing, we've had to solve some new issues. Employee fluctuation is one of them. With each person leaving the company, there's a threat that our data will be taken to a competitor. And we're not dealing only with intentional data leaks. With so many devices and employees, there are thousands of ways on how data can be lost or stolen. And although I could think everything is going well, how can I be sure that all of our employees are really working? I have a simple solution for that. Now I have control of what is going on in my company. I don't mind if our employees have fun at work, but we certainly don't want to stay late in the office because somebody didn't do their job. And I'm also not afraid of data leaks anymore. And if any suspicious activities happen, we are alerted and can stop them. And in case of loss or theft, we are now secure. This data can't be misused by anyone. The device can be replaced, but data is what matters most. So that's my key to success. Safetica is taking care of the human factor, so I don't have to. By the way, how do you protect your business?
Thank you so much for your time and attention, and please feel free to shoot your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I very confidently say that we at DCS will live up to your expectations of taking these products to the market and be successful in it. So, I think I've got a question for you, even though it's the time that you guys ask questions. do we all now know, or at least do we have an idea as how to protect your company or how to protect the business? Or do you actually have more questions to get to know how to protect business? I guess the floor is now open for that. It's the time for your questions.
Mr. Mawan, I've noticed that you are not active in US and the West. Why is it? I mean, is there any privacy regulations or is there a regulator?
Not really. The main reason is our expansion took a certain pattern or certain structure, and the United States is definitely one of the very interesting markets for us. But we are exploring different partners in the United States, and we have not yet reached the stage of selecting the proper partner to present Safetica in the market of the United States. So it's in the pipeline, but we're still in the search phase.
Right. I have also heard that you can monitor social media and do this stuff like that, right?
Yes, correct.
Then doesn't that breach on privacy of people, like when you track down on what they use?
I think this is more question for my colleague Pavel Kratky, and you can expand different aspects of monitoring social media.
I'll be glad to answer this question, because actually compared to usual monitoring solutions go into really deep detail, into the details of the communication. Safetica monitors the time spent in social media. It doesn't gather information about the details of, for example, Facebook messages or the feeds the users are giving there. And because we have an engine that is able to really see an active time on a web page, not only that the user visited URL, but actually how much time he spent. For example, if you are on a Facebook page, you are scrolling, you are clicking, then we give to the managers just only an overview of this time spent over there. I want our solution, our company to profile in the future as a kind of, I call it ethical monitoring software. We also want to present features like a time for privacy for the employee. Actually, there would be a functionality where the users can disable for a certain time the monitoring, so they can do some personal communications in the cases where the company even needs to capture all of the communications on the stations. So it's not our focus to go deep into the employee privacy, but for the reasons, for example, when you have an actual data breach, Safetica has enough power to actually find out anything about the users, but general policies only cover the active time spent in categories like social media. Is this sufficient for us?
So, I mean, do you put that clause, I mean, when an employee signs a contract with the employee, is that clause also then that will be monitored?
Yes, this actually depends on the country legislation. From my experience, almost all of the countries the employer needs to inform the user about the monitoring. So it's a kind of a part of the solution. Every time we go to a new country, and we are consulting with our distributors the law over there, and we give recommendations to the companies using Safetica how to properly use it, not to break the law, I would say.
The majority, I can add to this, that in the majority of cases, when you sign a contract to work for some corporation, you basically sign the employment manual where you accept IT policies and how to use company equipment and things like that. So you basically are agreeing to commit to certain standards, and if you violate that, Safetica just indicate your violation, but it's not designed to monitor your privacy.
And actually, what's kind of interesting is that in a lot of the countries, you actually have in the law that employers have to evaluate on some basis the activities of the employees. So this even is in some countries supported by law. So if you connect this approach that we have, not to go into the privacy, just having an overview of the time spent over there, even support the companies to comply with their local law.
Are there any other, who are your competitors? Are there any other companies that have this, who are developing software?
In this area of internal affairs, we are actually the first ones several years back that started to focus on solutions which could cover all this human factor. And as we saw with year and year on such events like InfoSec or CeBIT, the big guys kind of inspired by us, and they are widening their coverage of like application control, web control. But in this set of features we have, that we actually cover every aspect of the human factor issue, we are very unique in this.
Is there any government that is preventing you from marketing this into the security feature and
Well, actually, there are governments that want to use our software for their purposes.
Well, you
why
have
did you all
some.
enter Europe in a big way? I mean, because it's not.
I'm sorry.
Why did you all enter? It's not only the UK. Is it?
Yes,
And
it is.
It is.
UK, Ireland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Poland.
So
Spain.
Spain. Unpenetrated market in the United States.
Yeah. It's there are a few markets that we are pretty
Even
new.
Australia, I guess.
Australia is not covered yet. Actually, that's what I wanted to mention is that Australia is one of the countries that have really a strict policy about monitoring employees and about this kind of software, and it's defined in one of the government acts. But I heard now in 2013 to 2014 it's going to be changed, because really employers have really no tool to prevent leakage of sensitive data or better evaluate their staff. So the trend is also loosening a little bit in this regards.
Howard, you shared so many statistics over here. You shared so many statistics of that, and there are so many statistics here. How relevant is this to Sri Lanka?
I would say that I do not know about any statistics that comes from Sri Lanka or this area. But basically, when we started on the Middle East, from the experience, it's basically part of every country, of every business. It's an aspect which is not based on actually the state of IT, but the state of the culture and the mindset of the people. And usually, you could find out yourself about knowing how the people behave in the work, and if they pirate the software, and if they are thinking about what those things can do. Usually, it's not always intentional. As I mentioned, most of these things happening are unintentional. So you probably would not even know that you are making a data breach. So it's kind of difficult to say that. But you could look at the statistics. Those are from KPMG, Hongkong, and Carnegie Mellon University. And Coopers, and I think some of them even cover the Asia region, but there were no surveys done in Sri Lanka. So maybe with your house we could make some, and next year present some statistics that are more relevant.
You mentioned two situations where about the Snowden issue and the Manning issue. So you think that if the US government was employing a software, this could have been prevented?
Yes, actually, all of those cases happening today could be prevented. The state of actually protection in those armies and agencies is not so high as you expected. Actually, this data loss prevention is kind of new even to the government companies. Usually, their top way of how to protect data was the encryption. And they usually relied on these NDAs, but I think this trend will change. And yes, Safetica could prevent these from happening, but basically the existence of a program like a PRISM, there would be other ways how this could leak out. So yes, it could prevent, but I don't think that there will be a case where justice will be stopped by Safetica.
No, what I mean is if you put it on a CD and try to get it out, can you detect that?
Like technical, okay. Technically, of course, CD, basically Safetica, as Marwan mentioned, is not focused on a specific application or a specific device. This is actually sandbox mode. It takes data and you tell in Safetica only the place where you want this data to stay on. And it doesn't matter if it's CD, if it's USB, if it's an iPhone or a Dropbox or a virtual printer. Safetica doesn't allow this data to go anywhere else than where you want them to stay. So yes.
So it's also prevention. It's also more than detection. It also prevents the data from moving.
Yes, because once we identify the data, there are policies and rights assigned to those data. And if the data is still not there, usually or in most cases, the data are produced by certain applications. So when Safetica is capable of identifying any data resulting from different applications within the company. So if Safetica says that any outcome of your accounting system is considered sensitive data, it will be sensitive, and the policy will apply, and you will be able to prevent leakage.
Is it possible to hack?
Sorry,
It's possible to access
it will be really hard because Safetica is actually created by hackers. We have really great guys working with us. Even one of them, his nickname is Bennett. His open source worm was used to attack the energy infrastructure in US. And we also have a lot of specialists from antivirus companies. So the way how Safetica works is basically on the lowest possible layer in the system. It's in kernel. And as I mentioned, not even malware or even rootkit itself couldn't bypass those mechanisms. Because today DLPs are usually on an application level. It's very easy to bypass them. But Safetica, it's a new approach, which is much more deeper into the system. And basically, you could say that Safetica is an advanced rootkit, and it has much more possibilities than software which is illegally installed in the system. So maybe yes, it could be hacked. But when we released a competition to hack Safetica, it was a few years later. For 250,000 US, we made it for 1 year, and no one was able to hack it. So I hope this trend will continue.
If you get to hack Safetica, please give us a call. We'd like to hire you.
Who are your competitors, or did you name anyone?
Well, in regards to competition, as I said, the data leak prevention concept is really a broad concept. You have, I think, it's not a secret, major players in this field. So you have Symantec, you have McAfee DLP, you have Trend Micro DLP, you have Sophos DLP, GFI DLPs. But it's not like in antivirus industry where you can simply compare, let's say, detection rate versus weight on system resources versus speed of scanning, and because each DLP is slightly different. Some DLPs are focused on, we visit some companies and they say,
a similar one that you can name, gives a similar kind of features.
we are really complex. Majority of DLP solutions, they tackle areas of either email filtering or web filtering or a combination of web filtering and device management. And our philosophy is really provide a complex solution. Perhaps an interesting thing, let's say, we are one of the very few solutions that can even monitor print screens. So if someone decides to create a print screen and try to send it somewhere, we still can track that. So it's really an advanced solution with a broad scope. So it's hard for me to say which company. I don't know the exact number of worldwide clients, but it's a bit sensitive about disclosing information who are our clients. But I can tell you that
Sri Lanka, nobody as yet.
we in Sri Lanka we have done I think around 4 or 5 POCs for the time being. So we are expecting first deal very soon.
How much are your price tag? For your software?
Price.
Yes.
Well, it's depend on the number of workstations. So it's like in ranges.
Say 100 computers.
I know the price in Europe, but gentlemen, roughly. In Europe, it will be somewhere around 100 USD per user.
Per user.
Per user, yes. It's we're not even trying to be.
So are you already targeting the biggest companies?
Not really, actually. A lot of our clients are, we have, for instance, we have a lot of small law companies. Lawyers are very much concerned about the data that they carry, financial institutions, brokers. Those they really try to, they don't have any issue spending money on protecting their data. Of course, we do support education and government institutes, so we have special discount rates for government. We have some ministries of defense and police departments already using our
Have you
software.
approached any government department in Sri Lanka as yet? Not jobs, software not yet.
But I would say an interesting that first company we made a POC, they were really shocked when they looked at the resulting data because it gave them really a better way how to evaluate performance and what would be some good measures to increase productivity.
In terms of Sri Lanka, where we are customizing the bike economically, when we talk about Euro price, we can't talk about Sri Lanka. We are working with Sri Lankan prices.
So these are also performance indicator. Also HR tool also.
Definitely, yes. It's a powerful tool for HR managers, for any manager who is managing a group of people, subordinates, indication of technical support. So basically, it's a really good performance measurement. There is a statistic I can't recall the exact reference, but it says that 53% of the work day time is only the productive time. The rest is spent in other activities. So if there is any tool that can help changing the statistic, doing it on a better way, it's a return on investment. Any other questions? I would like also maybe to state a very important advantage of Safetica is compared to other DLP solutions, that they are restricted to a certain applications that they are capable of monitoring. And since we are based on a system level, on a lower level, we can monitor any application basically. So we are easier on deployment. Usually resources used to conduct DLP projects are really expensive, take approximately 6 to 12 months to deploy a proper DLP solution. Safetica can do it with much less time.
Thank you very much, everyone. So we now know through reluctance, probably threats, or even sleepless nights. With this product in place, I suppose that for IT managers or for companies, they could not only prevent extensive data from leaking out, but they could also look at the efficiency side of things, the productivity side of things, and how the business could be improved. And so must we, ladies and gentlemen, we need to look at this in a new way, not simply for today, but to make our tomorrows more rewarding, more fulfilling, more compelling, because the changes we make today. With your help, we can think anew and act anew on the issues before us today. And now, may I invite a face behind our success and a face you will continue to see with Safetica in Sri Lanka. Mr. Ajmer Hanifa, the Business Development Manager of TCS International, to deliver the closing address.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of TCS International, I'm very grateful to present today's event. I'll give sense, try to see how TCS International has grown over the years. As we now keep a footstep of brand new products with TCS International. We appreciate all the help has given by both print and electronic media throughout of the years. Sincerely hope that you will be continue in near future. I also take opportunity to thank Media 360 and all who are behind this event make successful. And I like to thank the Safetica team who travel long a way to take this event successful. Thank you very much.